श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ अखण्डानन्दसम्बोधः वन्दनात् यस्य जायते गोविन्दं तमहं वन्दे चिदानन्दतनुं गुरुम्. So yesterday we were seeing about this inherent nature of ignorance, right? We saw the definition and the nature of ignorance. While talking about that, the definition we said is sadasadbhyam anirvachaniyam. It is of the nature of neither existence, non-existence, inexplicable. Then we said message. Then we said, what is that still? We said it is a trunatmakam. It is of the nature of a three. It is of the nature of a three qualities. Okay. Then we said, what is its form? Bhava rupam. Bhava lakshanam is bhava rupam. Now, what is that bhava rupa? And vastu tattva avabodha ekabadhyam. It can be understood only through the knowledge of the substratum, nothing else. You can have the knowledge of quantum physics, you can have the knowledge of rocket science, nothing else. If you don't have the knowledge that it is rope, you can never get rid of the superimposed snake. That is the idea. Okay. Now, vastu tattva avabodha ekabadhyam. Then bhava rupam. Bhava lakshanam is bhava rupam. Bhava lakshana, bhava rupa does not really mean that it is of the nature of existence. Because we have already explained sadasadbhyam. It can neither be qualified to be called as existence nor qualified to be called as non-existence. Then why do you again say it as bhava rupa? Then we said, why are people afraid of bhava? Because if it is existence, it can never be negated. It can never be annihilated, refuted. Because what is existence? That which exists in all the three periods of time is satya, bhava. If it is bhava, if it is satya, if it is in all three periods of time, you can never refute it, negate it. So fearing this, some people say it is of the nature of abhava, absence. Then why should you at all negate it? Because whatever is non-existence cannot be experienced. You cannot experience something which is non-existence. So we say it is neither bhava nor abhava. Then what name do you give? We call it bhava. Again, you have a problem. You say it's neither in existence nor in non-existence, but you can call it existence. How can you call it as existence? We say the definition of existence is it is different from non-existence. Existence does not mean really existence. To negate the non-existence, we call it existence. Abhava vilakshana, that which is different from non-existence, is what is existence means. Right? So we explained all this. Now, where is this ignorance? What kind of nature it is? How is it? So all that is explained in the next shloka. Mithyāsambandhatastatra brahmaṇyāśritya tiṣṭhati maṇau śaktiryathā tadvannaitadāśrayadūṣakam. mithyāsambandhatastatra brahmani āśritya tiṣṭhati maṇau śaktiryathā tadvannaitadāśrayadūṣakam. Beautiful this is. Yatha maṇau shakti. Like there is this power in the money, in the precious stone. See, every precious stone has a power. Okay. So you have to wear this kind of precious stone for this kind of star, etc. They say. Anyway, I told you also earlier that in olden days, because people used to trust others, they used to give the diamonds, etc. for a day, and they used to tie it on their hand, wrist, or keep it under their pillow for a day to see what kind of experience they have. If they have a bad dream and bad experience for that day, they won't buy. If they have a good experience and good dream, etc., they will buy that diamond. That's how they used to. Now, another example which we can take is Chandrakantamani. This is a very famous thing in the Shastras. Chandrakantamani. Chandrakantamani is basically a moonstone. It's a special kind of moonstone, which is if you hold on to this Chandrakantamani and enter fire, the fire will not burn you. It will, they call it stambhana. It will block the power of, it will zap the power of a fire. That is what this Chandrakantamani does. Before entering to the point, I'll explain something else. In Vrindavan, I was lecturing in Hindi. During that, I had to discuss about this Chandrakantamani for some similar situation. At the end of the class, this sadhu came to me and asked, Swamiji, can I ask you one question? I was like very happy. Okay, good. Come on. Because he is asking about something with reference to ignorance and knowledge. I said, okay. He said, where can I get the Chandrakantamani? That's the question here. I was talking for 1 hour with parched throat. I'm coming out and this idiot is asking me, where can I get Chandrakantamani? This is what we are interested in. We are not interested in the self. I am talking about liberation and this fellow wants something about a bondage. So, Yatha Chandrakantamani Shakti, the power in the money, in the Chandrakantamani. Like that, brahmaṇyāśritya tiṣṭhati. This ignorance has as its substratum the Brahman. brahmaṇyāśritya tiṣṭhati. Okay. Now, what is the example? Or what is the example of it? Why this example? It resides in that. You can say, like the pot on the table, like the table on the ground. Simple examples. Why do you have to say, like the power in the money? I don't understand. Okay, let me explain this. We saw the saññogasambandha, separable relationship, the sadbhāve, inseparable relationship, right? We saw that. Now, if the power and money, the power and stone, they can be separated. They are in separable relationship. Saññogasambandha. We can understand that. Okay. Like this cloth, the color in the cloth is inseparable. Does that mean that this color is not available in anything else? It is available many places. Behind you, you can see on the painting this same color. And on the wall, I have painted the same color. In other places also, you find this color. So if it has existence in some other place other than this place also, then it is in samavaya sambandha. But if there is no other place other than this place, then you can neither call it saññogasambandha nor samavaya sambandha. You understand? You can neither call it saññogasambandha, separable relationship, nor samavaya sambandha, inseparable relationship. Because it doesn't exist in any other place other than this. What kind of relationship does it have? Because anywhere relationship is important, right? What is the relationship between this and that? The self and the, because this ignorance resides in the self, exists in the self. In what relationship it exists in self? For that he says, mithyāsambandhatā, in the relationship of a mithya. When we say adhyasa exists in the self, then they call it adhyasika sambandha, superimposed relationship. Here he calls it illusory relationship. Okay, superimposed relationship or illusory relationship does not really matter. They all say mithyāsambandhatā, but there is a problem. Ignorance exists in the self. This is what Bhagavan Bhashyakara accepts. This is what I accept. This is what many of the acharyas accept. What is that? Bhagavan Bhashyakara accepts. I accept many of the acharyas. What does that really mean? It means that there is a big discussion regarding this. Because not everyone accepts it in the ignorance existing in this self. Not many accept the ignorance having its substratum as the self. How? They say self is pristine, self is pure, nothing can impure it. So there can be no kind of association with anything else. Don't go there, don't touch it. And where can this ignorance be? You have a problem, so therefore it is in you. Simple. That logic is right. They say self is pure. Yes, cool. True. Self is pure. It cannot be associated with anything else. Good. But you have the problem. So therefore, the ignorance is in you, not in the self. Very logical. But the big problem is, this is the most illogical thing. There is not a hole in the logic. The logic itself is a hole. Why? Let us understand this. See, the pot has its substratum clay. Clay does not have its substratum in pot. You understand? The pot exists in the clay. Clay does not exist in the pot. Does not mean that clay is made of pot. Yes. But it can be either pot, it can be that clay can be also, need not be only pot. It can be also a plate or something else. Clay can be transformed into something else also. But the pot can have nothing else other than the clay as its substratum. Right? So the effector has as its substratum the cause. The cause cannot have as its substratum the effect. The effect cannot be the substratum for cause. Understand this, remember this. The effect cannot be the substratum for cause, but the effect has as its substratum the cause. The effect has as its substratum the cause. The cause cannot have substratum in effect. Okay. Now, who is a jiva? When you say it exists in me, you, who are you? I'm a jiva. Simple. Who is a jiva? Jiva is a product of ignorance. Jiva is a product of effect of ignorance. How can ignorance have as its substratum the effect, which is jiva? Highly illogical. Their logic is correct. They wanted to protect the self, and they say it exists in jiva. But the problem is jiva itself is a product of ignorance. How can ignorance exist in its effect? It is impossible. So we say, as I said, Bhavan Bhashakara, and because it's all due to the interpretation, misinterpretation. That's all. Like Sankshepa Sharirka says, Ashrayatva Vishyatva Bhagini Nirvibhaga Chitireva Kevala. Ashrayatva Vishyatva Bhagini Nirvibhaga Chitireva Kevala. Meaning, Ashrayatva as its substratum, Vishyatva as its object. Nirvibhaga Chitireva Kevala. The ignorance has Nirvibhaga. Vibhaga means parts, limbs. Nirvibhaga means without parts, without limbs. Non-dual. Śrutiḥ means consciousness. Non-dual consciousness is the substratum and the object of ignorance. How? We explain this with an example. There is a room here. In that room, there is no light. It is full of darkness. Where does the darkness reside? Where does the darkness has as its substratum? That room. Okay. What does it objectify? Don't understand what darkness objectifies. What is that? Okay. Let me explain this. Now I have this bag and I am showing a torchlight. What does this torchlight objectify? The light objectifies the bag, right? Similarly, the darkness objectifies that room, whatever is in that room and that room. Where does this darkness exist? In that room. What does it objectify? Whatever is in that room. That room, basically. So, the darkness has as its substratum and object that room. Right? Similarly, the ignorance, which is darkness, has as its substratum the self and it objectifies the self. But what happened to that problem which I raised? What is your problem? That if If the ignorance is residing in the self, then the self will become impure. That's a very good question. For that we say, etat na ashrayadūṣakam. This ignorance does not affect the dushaka, means defect, affect. So it does not affect the ashraya, the substratum. Defect, dushaka means defect, but we will not take it as defect, we will say take it as affect. Why? Because dushaka, defect, is an implication to also guna, some glory, meaning it does not it does not bring in any defect or any glory to that substratum. Let us suppose, let us understand this. See, I have a thread in which I am which I am using for making a garland of some fragrant flower like rose or some jasmine. I'm taking this rose or jasmine and I'm making a garland out of it with this thread. Now I remove all this garland flowers and I have only the thread. If I smell the thread, it will smell of the flower, whatever flower it was used to make garland. Okay, so the flower smells good. Now let us suppose there is a box. In that box I had kept asafoetida, or I have kept garlic, or I have kept coffee. So whichever is good, whichever is bad, you can choose. So the good smell is retained, the bad smell also is retained. Okay, so good or bad, but here whether the attribute is good or bad does not really matter. It does not, the ignorance does not affect the substratum. How can it not affect the substratum? Let us take the simple example. The superimposed pot cannot affect the table substratum, right? So other examples we can take. The superimposed snake, poisonous snake, does not affect the substratum. That poison does not affect the rope, right? Or the superimposed thief on the post, sthanu purusha. Post is, that pillar is a thief. Why is he a thief? Like the other day I said, we were waiting here for more than half an hour or something, thinking that there is a deer outside in the night. There's a deer. Do you see the movie? We saw everything, but when we throw light on it, it was just a plant. So here the good attributes of the supreme. Okay, so na ashrayadūṣakam. Therefore we need not be worried about the association bringing in the defects or good attributes. Okay, okay, now we explain the ajñāna. Now what is the proof of this existence of ignorance? What is the proof? So we will talk about the proof. Sadbhāve liṅgametasya kāryametaccarācaram mānaṃ śrutiḥ ajñānaṃ cha. Sadbhāve liṅgametasya kāryametaccarācaram mānaṃ śrutiḥ ajñānaṃ. See, in Vedanta we accept three proofs. One is a shruti. Okay, then the other is yukti, then the third is anubhava. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. Shruti means scriptures, includes the smrti also. Yukti means logic, basically the logic which we derive in the Brahma Sutra. The conclusion which we derive in each topic of Brahma Sutra is called as of the world is accepted, yukti. Anubhava, experience. Okay, so shruti sammata smrti, shruti sammata smrti, shruti sammata yukti, shruti sammata anubhava. Meaning, we accept the Vedas, and whatever accepted by Vedas, if that is accepted in the smritis, the written text, that is also accepted as proof. Whatever is logic accepted in the Vedas, Shruti Matas Tarkona Sandhya, and we have to follow the logic which is prescribed in the Shruti. Okay, and whatever experience that is explained in the Shruti, accepted by the Shruti, that is the experience we are accepting. Shruti, basically we accept the Shruti. Shruti accepted Smriti. Shruti accepted logic, and Shruti accepted the experience. This is what we accept. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. So all that is presented here in this shloka. Existence of the ignorance. What is that? Sadbhāve liṅgametasya. Etat characharam kāryam etasya sadbhāve liṅgam. Etat characharam. All that chara means the moving. Achara means that non-moving. Meaning the moving and non-moving. Moving meaning the animals and plants and trees, whatever it is. So all that. This is effect. All this what which you see as effect is a proof for the existence of lingam. Sadbhāve lingam is the proof of existence. Lingam means, see, linga is a word in the common world. Linga is a word used. Linga is used in the Shiva Linga, etc. Linga is also used to show the refer to the male genitals. Okay, that is not the meaning we are taking. Linga in Sankhya is referred to as the paribhasha. The epistemology for linga in Sankhya is laya yuktam, that which undergoes merge, that which has the property of merging into something. Here, linga here means lean. The knowledge of that which points out to the hidden thing. That is what is linga. Leenam artham means the hidden object. Gamayati means points out. That which points out to the hidden object. That is what is a linga. Or the fire. We don't see the fire, but we see the smoke. The smoke is the effect of fire. Right? So, by seeing the effect, we understand the cause. This is called as kārya anumana, an inference based on the effect as the pointer. The inference based on the effect as a pointer to the cause. That is called as kārya anumana. So the whole creation is proof. How can that be proof of existence of ignorance? Because the whole world is a triggunatmaka. This should have to have a cause. What is the cause? That is what is a triggunatmaka maya, the existence of proof of existence of ignorance. Right? So kārya. Now, śrutiḥ smṛtiścā. The Shruti, the Vedas and the Smrti, the Gita, we are taking here Gita. Any other Smrti also is good enough. So we are taking the Vedas and Gita as an example also. There is proof in that. Māyāṃ tu prakṛtiṃ vidyāt māyinam tu maheshwaram. Shvetashadra Upanishad very clearly says, understand the Maya to be Prakriti, and the one who wields that Maya, the power of Maya, yes, Maheshwara. Okay. Now, we have to understand this with the idea of the devotees. In greets the other person with a, see, normally we greet in Rishikesh, we have this Hari Om. In Vrindavan, if you go, there is a different kind of greeting. They will say Radhe Radhe. Okay. Now, in Vrindavan, Krishna, his power, Maya is a Radha. Krishna is played by Radha. Besides, that is what Radha is more powerful than Krishna. That is the kind of idea they have there. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radha Rani. For us, Vedantins, Maya is a power under the control of Ishvara and not the other way. Ishvara is not under the control of Maya. Then he will become a Jiva like us. Okay? So, smṛtiścā. Smrti also. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Maya adhyakshena characharam suyate. Maya adhyakshena prakrtiḥ suyate characharam. With me as the Lord, presiding one. Adhyakshena means the presiding one. Etat characharam, all this moving and non-moving, whatever this is, they are all suyate, they are all created by me, with me as the presiding one, the Lord of the Prakriti. All these things are created. So that is what Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. So we have proof of Shruti and Smrti. Shruti and Smrti are not too different. We are not talking about Shruti, Smrti and Anubhava. We are talking about Yukti, Shruti, Smrti and Anubhava. Okay? Remember that. So Anubhava, what is the experience we have? Aham ajñānaṃ, I am ignorant. We say, do you know that? I am ignorant of that. Do you know what your real nature is? I am ignorant of that. So we are ignorant of things of the world. We are ignorant of our own inherent nature. These are all proofs for the ignorance. Okay, so we have proof of based on Shruti, Smrti also we said, Maya adhyakshena prakrtiḥ suyate characharam. Okay, then Yukti, logic, which is a kāryametaccarācaram, kāryalingametasya, through the inference of a inference based on the effect, investigating the cause for that. kāryalingametasya. So with that also we understand. And through his anubhava, experience, which is a aham. These three establishes that the existence of ignorance is there. Okay, you experience the ignorance. Now, what is this? The problem is, we started with mithya, then we said ajñānaṃ, then we changed it to mithya again. Different words, adhyasa. Actually, are they different or are they same? So for nigadyate, he takes one part of the, we take one part of the 305 shloka, only this line. Ajñānaṃ prakṛtiḥ śaktiryathā avidya iti nigadyate. It is said, nigadyate, it is said in the form of with different names. What is that? Ajñānaṃ, prakrti, shakti, avidya. He is giving only 4 names. In Shvetashvara Upanishad Bhashya, he is giving some 10-15 names. Ajñānaṃ, prakrtiḥ, avyakta, avyakrita, different words he uses. So all these adhyasa, all these refer to the same thing, ignorance. Okay, so whether you call it ajñāna, whether you call it prakrti, maya, whether you call it the same prakrti, that's all the same ignorance. Okay, we are talking about ignorance. These are all synonyms of ignorance. Okay, we'll see this. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.